she's way into butterflies right now. So what we did was we took our little coffee table, it's actually a long, low table, pulled it out into under a tree in our backyard, and then we took hula hoops and tied kind of pretty fabric around the hula hoops and tied inexpensive butterflies at the bottom and hung them at various heights coming down from the tree, kind of low over the coffee table. And they kind of swayed in the winds and the butterfly moved. It was so beautiful. And the kids were like, oh, because to them they think they have these, giant tent over their heads. You know how when you're smaller, everything looks bigger. But it was really, really beautiful, and the adults loved it too. And then I had been collecting, because I love bird cages. I never know what I'm going to do with them. Do you guys do things like that? You're like, I don't know, I just love them. I have to have them. And so I had these collection of like 3 or 4 bird feeders, and I just took my inexpensive butterflies, and the butterflies that you buy at craft stores, they have that long wire attached to them, and I just kind of weaved them around and put that down with these hanging over it. And then for the gift bags, I continued the butterfly theme by just taking little craft bags with a hot glue. How many of you have a hot glue gun? There, I think they should write me a check, because all I do is talk about it. It's called Cold Heat, and it's got no plug. It's cordless, and it's got a rechargeable battery, just like a rechargeable screwdriver. I mean, you can craft for days. It's so fun. Gotta go check it out. So we just got these inexpensive bags, put 2 little eyes on here, put 3 holes down the side, took pipe cleaner, and made little butterfly wings. Now you guys will laugh at me because most of you probably go to a real office every day, right? Or a lot of you, or stay home in a real home. Well, the show is named after, and I call it basically Romper Room for Grown-Ups, because it is great. It's one big open space where myself and my very talented staff sit with all these different pipe cleaners and glue guns and invent different things like hula hoops with things hanging down, and isn't that a good job? I always say I do what my mom does or did, only I get paid for it. And I told her the other day, I said, how many of my recipes do you think are your recipes? I said, wouldn't you say like 30%? She's like, 60%. I said, you'd like a royalty check, wouldn't you? Anyway, so this is one of our imaginative things we did with pipe cleaners. It just made little wings. And then, because I'm a new mom, and it was her first birthday, I filled it up with candy. Bad idea. But anyway, you can fill it up with something fun, and that can be your little gift bag. And then if you want to, on kind of your grown-up buffet table, get some beautiful flowers, just one of a kind, so you don't have to be a flower arranger. And again, stick your little butterflies right in there so that it kind of carries the theme around. Because a lot of times when you have a kids' party, you got to have a separate table for kind of the grown-ups with the alcohol on it, so you can put it up. Just kidding. And then last, I just think this idea is so super cute. These are little wings that we built for the little kids, and all we did was take 2 little coat hangers, wrapped them together, tied them, twisted little funky wings out of it, twisted together in the center, and then we just took stockings, fishnets, pulled it together, and where you'll see when you put the hanger, you twist it like so, you have little spikies sticking out that are kind of dangerous. So we just took inexpensive wood. Do you love that? This is like, do you feel like you're playing charades a little bit with me? Because I get so excited, I forget the words. These are little drawer pulls that we just painted and put in the center, and then tied some elastic on the back so that they loved them. They did not want to take them off. And that's a really fun thing to take home too. So that is my little children's party right here, which I think is so fun, and I've been having so much fun. We're about to shoot 26 new episodes of my show in a week and a half. And can I just tell you something? Last year, at the very same, right around now, we finished filming the last 26 episodes, and I was like, next year I am 10 pounds lighter, or I'm not getting in front of that camera. No, I'm 10 pounds heavier. Why does that keep happening? Anyway. That's my kids, and we have a couple more, because I think I'm a new mom, and I used to Lifetime would always be like, could you please put on some episodes about kids? But I wasn't about kids then, so I'd be like, yeah, next time. You gotta pick pink, because, I mean, a little bit, is Paris Hilton not ruining the pink color? enough already. We gotta reclaim pink. It can't be all about Paris. So I made a sophisticated, shall I say, not slutty pink party. I hope Paris isn't listening, but whatever. Okay, so the first thing I did was I'm always trying to think of new and interesting party invitations because it kind of sets the mode for your party, it sets the tone, it gets people excited, it forces people to think that you're really cool. So one thing that we did, there's really a lot of good fun ways to kind of use this invitation and make it a little bit more creative and a little bit more personal, right? I love when I'm doing these kinds of presentations and people are out there going like, yeah, good. You know when you have a good one. When no one nods their head, you're like this, okay, that's a dud. That one won't make the show. And then we're always trying to think of, when it comes to outdoor parties, what people are gonna eat on. Because a lot of times when you bring the party outdoors, it's bigger than your inside party. So you don't have enough plates, you don't have enough chairs to sit on, and people are kind of, it's awkward because you can't carry everything. So we're always looking for different kind of funky trays. And how many of you have discovered OrientalTradingCompany.com? Rocks, right? For any parties, you can buy quantities for fairly inexpensive, and they have all kinds of different themes, and it's fantastic. I also just found another new website. We're like source happy at the Katie Brown Workshop. If we find a new website that's great or a new tool to work with, we get so excited. Have any of you ever been on shindigs.com? Isn't it cool? You guys have got to go for your next party. It's got, really great inexpensive things that you need to dress up a little bit, but it makes a great base, like this particular inexpensive tray, that all we did was we took some grosgrain ribbon and just weaved it in and out in between the slats of the tray, and that way it kind of matched the decor of my non-Paris Hilton pink party. Now, it's a great thing to do for the holidays too, if you want to weave in a red or a green or something like that. Like the plumbing aisle at Lowe's, where they'll have funky copper sheeting or something that we turn into some kind of trims. So another great place besides your local hardware store to find crafting items, and I always love it at Lowe's when we're like all parked in the aisle inventing some kind of new chandelier out of like washers. And they're like, what are you going to do with that, Katie? It's like, just keep walking. Never mind, you'll never understand. Is theatrical websites. Set designers' websites are great because they have a lot of products that you can't find in the stores yet. And one of them is this stuff that's almost like a very thick Mod Podge. You want to make it a little bit thicker, and you paint it on it, and overnight it like hardens into this crusty, really fantastic finish. So all we did was this, is we started with your basic clay pot. Those piles of pots in the garage that you don't want to throw away, but yet you never use them. It's a great thing to do with them. You just take a can of spray paint or a bottle, put the clay pot up on top of it, take your fabric, in this case we just took really inexpensive rough burlap, kind of molded it over and under the clay pot, and then painted the theatrical paint on top, and it dried, and then we painted it pink, and we've got great flower pots to line and put on either side of any men in the audience. But maybe there's, not to say that females cannot be football fans, but my dad's from Michigan and my mom's from Ohio, so she's a big Cleveland fan. So I designed the Super Bowl party after her, but I realized as I hit the road today, I probably should have done the Braves, right? And a heart on the bottom. Well, just take those, spray paint them your colors, and spray paint numbers on top of that. You got it? I see a lot of head shaking. That makes me happy. Okay, and then, because sometimes flower arrangements are too expensive and too hard, this is one thing that you can pull out every Friday or every Saturday. Just get your big vase, and we just went online and ordered really inexpensive footballs, pile them in your vase, and kind of put those around your buffet table, and you can even get some pennants of the team that's playing on a dazzle.